All right. Happy Sunday. Let's go into a word of prayer and then we'll get back into it. I had jumped right into it. I started talking. I said, well, maybe I need to press record so that I can catch what I was about to read, so that those who watch it as a replay can get it. We give thanks for this Sunday. We give thanks for coming together as a community of like-minded individuals, honoring our divinity, honoring what it means to be a child of God. We acknowledge and we give thanks for the divine plan in our life, the divine purpose in our life, and we affirm that because we have a divine plan and purpose, each and every one of us, unique in their own way, but divine nonetheless, because it is a divine plan and purpose, any and everything that's necessary for us to live that plan and purpose out is already ours. May we continue to lighten our hearts and open our minds so that we can see, so that we can hear, so that we can be guided by our inner guidance on that pathway. We give thanks for all of the healing that has happened. We give thanks for all of the openings and the upliftment that has happened. And we give thanks for that is on the way. The blessings, the healings, the lessons, we give thanks for it all. Ashe. Amen. Amen, amen, amen. All right. What I was saying before I hit record was that I'm always trying to compel us to live more intentionally. And I put together my ebook, A Different Kind of Living, at a time when I was learning the significance of color, the significance of Hertz frequencies, the significance of the days, the significance of the moon cycle. All of these things have significance. And when I say, whenever you hear the term spiritual significance, it's saying there's something in the unseen that makes the moon cycle significant. There's something in the unseen that makes color significant. The retail world know this. They use certain Hertz frequencies, they use certain colors, they use certain days when it comes to selling consumers something, igniting the desire in people. But there is a significance. Each day has a significance. Each hour has a significance. And we can tune in to the unseen. And the power in tuning into the unseen is because the T is the unseen is what is influencing or creating that which we see. So if we tune into the unseen, when our mind and our vibration shifts, the matter around us shifts. That's the whole premise behind mind becomes matter. Change your mind, the matter around you changes. Change your vibration, things, you're going to see a shift in that which you see in the seen world when you tune into the unseen, okay? So when we hear spiritual significance, when I tell people, hey, look up the spiritual significance of something, it's saying there is a significance to this. There's something about this that influences us in the seen world. And so in my book, A Different Kind of Living, I did put in there the significance of each day. And that's according to the planet that the day is ruled by. That's also the hour too. If you don't have the app, there's an app that you can clock the hours until you learn how to do it on your own. There's an app that can tell you what hour are we in. It's called Hora Watch. If I can get somebody to type that in the chat room, that'll be great. Hora Watch. Why do I use this app? Well, if I have let's take I had a closing early this year on this property. If I had any control over the time of the closing, I wanted to make sure the closing is in an hour that is good for, if you will, things like business matters and signing contracts and making real estate purchases and all of this. And there's an hour or a planet that rules an hour that is good for that. One of them being Mercury. And so since I did have control over when it was, I was like, yes, I schedule it during a Mercury hour. And I believe, I can't remember what day it was, but I know I was thinking, I want to do it on Mercury day during Mercury hour. Okay. And so that's living intentionally. It's just saying, I'm going to line up with the energy so that I can be in alignment with the flow of energy that's needed at this moment. Same way we can be intentional with our prayers, with our affirmations, with the music we listen to, with the TV, even watching what I watch on Netflix. When I'm kicking it and just want to let my hair down and I want a Netflix series, I want to watch something that's going to evoke, because that's what it does when you're watching things. It's putting things in your subconsciousness. It's evoking emotions. It has things on your mind. It ends up in your dreams. So I'm going to be a little choosy, a little selective about what I'm watching. And then as I'm watching it, I'm going to be a little thoughtful. Now, I don't know if this sounds like, oh, Queen, you're doing the most. I don't know, I don't know, but I feel compelled to just say, we have the capacity to be way more intentional than we are. There's something I used to say all the time. Life is not just happening to us, it's responding to us. Life is not just happening to us, it's responding to us. Hey, you coming in for the Sunday service? Okay. Good to see you. Oh my goodness. Greetings, greetings. Hi, y'all coming in for the Sunday service? Okay, come on in. Y'all can sit right there. I've started, but y'all, that's okay. It's okay. It's like we just kind of chill. It's not that formal. How you doing? Come on over here. Come on over here. What in the world? Wow, what a pleasant surprise. Thanks. Wow, good to see you. Good to see you too. All right. So look at God. All right. Tune it back in. So yes, life is not just happening to you, it's responding to you. Think about that. Let that be something you have a mantra in your mind. Especially if you one who feel like, if it ain't one thing, it's the other. That's not really what the reality is. Life is not just happening to you, because that's what you're implying when you say something like that. It's responding to you. Where you are vibrationally, you're going to experience in the physical world. And so when you start to live a little bit more intentionally, so you say, okay, it's Sunday. Sunday, this is what I was about to read when I pressed record. Sunday is the day of the sun, a perfect day for relaxing, unwinding, and connecting with your inner self in accordance to the energy of the sun. Every day is ruled by a planet. Queen, you be talking about astrology. If you are not ready to at least get the beginner level of astrology, I'm just telling you, we're in the age. You should know you should at least know beginner level of what we call astrology. Because the saying of as above, so below is so real. Astrology and the moon cycle. Just a little bit. I'm not telling you to go try to be an astrologist. I'm not telling you to do any of that. I'm just saying, get to know your natal chart. Get to know what the planets influence. So when they tell you something like Pluto is in retrograde, you're not like, oh, what that mean? Mercury in Gatorade, blah, 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 being funny. It's not fun. It's you cause yourself problems when something is happening astrologically and you're not in tune with it. I see it so much. People, boy, I tell you, social media be off the chain during Mercury retrograde. People they about to divorce each other. They just do it, all type of stuff during Mercury retrograde. People done linked up with a Mercury retrograde. Boo, they done messed up the life. It's all type of things go down during Mercury retrograde because you don't know what it is. You think it's funny. We're highly undereducated. And then, so now we're severely ignorant. And so now we think it's funny, and it really does wreak havoc. And on a serious note, it could wreak havoc in your household, wreak havoc with your children, all of these different things. But let me finish reading with the Sunday. It says, Sunday is the perfect day for going within and tapping into your inner sunshine and radiance. I just said on Sundays, it's a good time to work with your solar plexus chakra, working with the solar plexus gemstones, working with the yellow candles, the white candles. All of those are good for Sunday. The energy of the day really supports self-reflection, spiritual growth, and giving yourself the time you need to restore and replenish your soul. So, church, is a beautiful thing on Sundays if it's invoking you to go within. And the reason why I say that, and I'm emphasizing in this moment, is because for a long time we have done church on Sundays in a way that does not invoke us to go within. It's very outside. We wake up in the morning already in ego, what I'm aware. And some people real serious about that. They in competition with the pew. I'm like, oh yeah, this gonna be fly. I'm gonna kill. I'm gonna bust them in the head with this. You already in ego. You done started the day in ego, outside of yourself, instead of going inside yourself. Then you go into the church and now you looking at her and looking at him and looking at them. And now you in judgment and now you over here and now ego. Then here you go, somebody praising. Now, you know, she shouldn't be praising like that. She just wants some attention and blah, 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 blah. This is church. Maybe it's just me. I grew up in the church. Then now you done got in an argument with the usher because the usher done got a power tripping or something, or whatever. You wanted to go to the bathroom and she looked at you funny and now you mad. It's all type of stuff. You can't I don't have the money. Now you scared because now here come the offering time. Now you know, I don't know how much. I got bills. Oh Lord, well, I made $3,000, but you want me to get a church $300? I don't know about that. So we spend time in doing church and it hardly brings you inside. And we did it as a ritual for many, many years. What does that create? What does that do besides big up the ego versus bigging up the spirit? Church to me is more like a meditation. This right here, teaching, and let's think about this. Ask yourself this. What about this? Let's all, okay, take that word right there, sit on it for a second. Let's pause for a cause and let's breathe about it. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Church can be literally 2 hours of asking yourself what you feeling. Bring your church. I'd rather go to a church where they tell you to bring your journal. We praise, we get into our emotions with the music, all that beautiful stuff. And then when the preacher come up, the minister come up, they put a little word and now everybody take out your journal to do some self-reflection. This is more so like Sunday. This is what Sunday for. But if you're going to the typical church, let me not say that. Okay, let me be nice. If you're going to church that okay, I'll be even nicer. If you're going to churches that I have observed, I'm gonna be nicer. Oftentimes in church, I'm trying not to hurt nobody's feelings, okay? Because this going on YouTube, it's worldwide. Okay. Listen, I don't mean no harm. It's time for truth. Okay. We already see that this is an age of secrets being revealed, the age of truth. We just caught up in the entertainment of Diddy this and TD Jakes that and whoever else now. Who is it now? Jay-Z and Beyonce. The next thing we know it's going to be Oprah, whoever else. I don't know. But that's just showing you what time it is right now. So don't go judging Diddy and Jay and all of these people. What secrets do you have? You've been secretly in your ego on Sundays. So let's talk about it. Let's bring the truth out. Secretly, secrets just mean hidden. It's not present. It's not in the front of your face. So it's not in the front of your face that you've been in your ego. Because you're a good person. When you hear you and your ego, I'm not that type of person. What you are though? Because when you're afraid, you're in your ego. When you're sad, you're in your ego. When you're bitter, you're in your ego. When you're regretful, you're in your ego. When you're shamed, guilty, all of that is ego. Because in God, there is none of those things. In God, there is grace. In God, there is mercy. In God, there is understanding. In God, there is reasoning. All of that is in God. So if you're not in God, guess what you're in? Your ego. You ain't got to feel bad about it. Just work on yourself. Notice it. Notice it. In God, if you're feeling compelled to give 10%, 15%, 5%, 2%, whatever it is, if spirit leads you to do it, if you have the thought, came out of nowhere, you weren't even thinking about it, In God, you know that God is infinite and abundant. So I'm going to give this. I don't know why I'm being compelled to give this. I'm going to give this, and all is well. And even if you don't feel that way and it's hard for you to pull that money out, you still affirm while you're doing it. Ooh. You got to remind yourself, no, God, it'll come back tenfold. It's going to come back tenfold. It's going to come back tenfold. Because sometimes it is a struggle to do what God done told you to do because you're afraid. And that's okay. Being in God don't mean you're not tempted to be afraid. Being in God does not mean you're not tempted. Church has also made us feel like, because it's so full of judgment, church has also made us feel like being in God is being some kind of, you know, I'm gonna use the word perfect, although I do think we're perfect, but not in the way people think perfect is. I think we are perfect exactly how we are in our struggles, in our glories, but we have another image of what perfect is, and we think that's how we gotta be. I've heard people say, Queen, I start tuning in on Sundays when I get my life together. No, tune in now. Tune in now. Queen, I don't want to come to the garden because come to the garden. I need, come. I don't really, nah, I'm shame, because it's shame. Church culture has made us feel shame when we're in certain places. And that's how, what my mama Gloria would say, that's how the enemy want to have you. That ain't nothing but the devil, is what she would say. And she's right. Remember what the metaphysical meaning of devil, enemy, Satan, or whatever are these almost calcified, crystallized, negating thoughts that keep running in your head. That's what the devil is. Don't look at the devil outside of you. The devil is always inside of you. It's never outside of you. So when you look outside and say, that's the devil, you got to figure out, once you get off of your victim trip, now go inside. So where am I vibrating inside and in my mind that attracted these experiences? That's showing me. Because that's how life works. Big pill to swallow sometimes. Queen, that's definitely not me. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. I don't like this. You just make it fit. I'm just telling you law. I don't know what else to tell you. I can pull up scripture if you want me to. That's cool. I can pull it up. Let me just, as a man thinketh, so is he. Oh, run that backwards. Whatever he is, he's thinking it. Okay. So it ain't me. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at the scripture. Don't be mad at me. All right. Let me close this out on this Sunday. Sunday carries with it a beautiful vibe for unwinding, getting centered and refocused for the week. Boy, how many times we come from church tired? Oh, my Lord. The drain. Isn't that wild? For years. I remember them days because it was a whole thing. It's just like, and Sunday's energy is not for that. So that comes to tell you why we end up seeing in the church culture a lot of stress, because we're not taking the time to do what we're supposed to be doing on the day that we're supposed to be doing it. We're not taking the time to do that, even though you would think that's what's happening. I go to church every Sunday. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing for you. And I'm not trying to say I don't believe in God. I'm not trying to be sacrilegious. I'm just saying maybe you need to stop going to church. You need to sit with yourself for a few Sundays. And then maybe you need to ask God to send you to a church that'll be more fruitful for you. That might be what it is. And we welcome you here at OU Ministries. Anyway, you can tune in. You can tune in online or you can come in person. Okay. It says Sunday is good for social, or Sunday is also perfect time to focus on matters surrounding your health and wellness. I've seen some churches kind of have a focus on at least one Sunday out the month. They have a focus on that. Social gatherings are also likely to be harmonious and easy flowing on Sunday, and emotions will often feel softer and gentler. I don't be feeling soft and gentle in the church. It'd be some wilding out. It'd be gangster. I don't want y'all to think my church, my childhood church was just off the chain. Okay, so let me stop saying that. It wasn't. I actually had love for the church in certain ways. But as a lot of us, there were some experiences that ended up making me say, I gotta back off church for a little while to get to know myself, to get to know God for myself. All that stuff had to happen. So it's not me indicting the church, but it is just me being truthful. And I'm saying things that a lot of people be thinking, feeling, and experiencing. And I'm just saying it because now the truth is the truth. And I ain't scared. I ain't never scared. Okay, sorry, that was the K to me. In order to use the energy of Sunday effectively, make it a day for rest and relaxation. Try not to schedule anything too demanding and high energy on Sunday, and instead take the time to connect to your inner radiance. Every day carries its own unique vibration, and when you can tune into its energy, you will start to notice how it will shape and guide your week. So you want to learn about the energy of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This is not a plug, but I'm just saying. I put together that ebook, A Different Kind of Living, years ago. I want to say that was published in 2016, maybe. Years ago. The moon cycle, the days, the colors. When I am not, this was my year, this was a year of whites for me, but typically I'll have on the color of the day. So Monday, you're going to find me with probably cream or white on. Tuesday, I'm probably have on red. I will. That's how I have done for years. Wednesdays, I'm going to be wearing green. Thursdays, yellow. Fridays, another white or cream day. Saturdays, black. Sundays, I may go with the color of the sun, or I may go with maroon. But it's intentional. So when I put on that green, I'm thinking about the energy of the day. I'm thinking about what green represents. I'm thinking about all those different things. And that becomes kind of a part of my consciousness for the day. So, of course, I begin to embody that. And now I'm flowing with the energy of the day. And so it's not like, at that time, when I started learning about these things, I was kind of big on the whole manifestation talk. That's how I attracted a lot of folks. Some of y'all hear from them days. We used to do a whole lot of manifesting until I finally realized I am a manifester. So I'm always manifesting. So it's really about just getting to know who you are as a child of God and what that truly means and living in that. And a part of that is tuning into God energy, God frequency, which show up as the days and the colors and all those different things. But nonetheless, it's not like, yes, my life started to become extremely blessed, extremely peaceful, joyous, all of that. I can absolutely say, giving thanks, that anything I've ever desired, it has come to pass. And at a certain point, I realized that that's just what life is, because we do have a divine power and dominion in life. And so be careful what you begin to desire. Be careful what you have going on. I wish this, I would be careful, because it comes to pass. Even if you don't feel like you're blessed, just sit down, think about it. Go back and just think about the things you said you wanted. Everything comes to pass. It really does. We just be fooled in a moment. We throw our temper tantrum, we're scared, with all of that kind of stuff. And then something pop off, and then now we happy and excited. And then 3 months later, we don't even remember the trial. It's like, that's just how it goes. It's like, so we pray that we continue to evolve in God. And so we don't have to go through those, roller coaster rides when what we call wants and desires come up in our lives, or needs come up in our lives. That roller coaster ride starts to go away once you really get to understand God. When you really understand, not just God, let me say it how I like to say it. When you really start to understand the reality of God. Because when I say God, you might still be thinking about something separate from you, something in the sky, something in the heavens that you got to work for, and then you die and go. No, 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 no. The reality of God is the reality of divine grace, divine intelligence, divine guidance. God, this reality of God is omniscient. Have you ever looked that word up? It means it's all knowing. It means it's all knowing. Notice I'm saying it is all knowing, because it's a frequency that's always calibrating and shifting things. That's what it is. This thing that we call God. It's a reality. It shows up as energy. It shows up as patterns in life. It shows up as life force. That's what it shows up as. So when you understand that reality, you begin to not allow the ego and the human brain to bother you so much, because that's really what it be. It start to bother you. Well, what if this? And all of it, a lot of it is just traumas, things you've gone through, things you've seen your mama go through, things you've seen daddy go through, things that the news done said, things that happen over here. It's all of these things in your consciousness that create this doubt, this fear, this sadness. Mary, Virgin Mary. A lot of people learned that story as an actual story. A virgin woman got pregnant with Jesus. I had a message planned today. Lord have mercy. Why am I going here? Because people be mad. Hold on. Am I about to go? Clearly, I done already went. How many people I got on here? Lord, 29. Okay. I got 29 people, 30, 31, 32, 33. 33 people is tuned in right now. I want all 33 of you to be honest. Okay, be honest. A virgin woman got pregnant with Jesus. You believe that? I wasn't gonna look at y'all. I ain't gonna put you. I just be honest. We ain't gotta tell nobody. Be honest. Be honest. Be honest. Okay, be honest. I'm not. I ain't got nothing else to say. I'm just asking. That's what I'm asking for. Just if we just answer the question from our realistic, practical mind that we always trying to use. Because anything else, we'd be like, that ain't realistic. Make it make sense for me. That ain't logical. So I'm just throwing it out there. Just stay with me, because I ain't going nowhere that's sacrilegious, okay? Hang with me. Let me see if anybody logged out. Okay, no, I still got 29. Okay. Huh? No, we ain't talking about metaphysical. Just realistically speak, what people call realistically speaking. Take your metaphysician hat off, my metaphysicians. Physical woman, because we're talking about, thank you, God, that we are learning more about metaphysics. I'm grateful of that, because as a child, I was told God can do anything, and that's the answer when I ask questions. How did Noah go and find the gnat? That's all I wanted to know. The mosquito. Did Noah go get 2 mosquitoes, 2 cockroaches, 2 gnats, 2 butterflies? What did Noah? I just wanted, and I know we could think about it now and be like, yeah, that's ridiculous. But just imagine as a child, you're in a place where you were supposed to be learning about God and getting a relationship with God. And the stories you're told are stories like this. Noah built the boat, and he went to get 2 of everything. And this is the creation. I mean, this is the story that I'm told about life. No wonder I didn't understand life. Okay, so I could do a whole session on the stories in the Bible. I'm brewing on a book to do, like put together an ebook or something to really go into the metaphysical meaning of each story. Because if you get to know the metaphysical meaning, it's way more meaningful. You're like, that makes sense. So the story I'm talking about right now is Virgin Mary. Why did I bring up Virgin Mary? Because we're around chromal time right now. And I was just saying, the ego can start bothering you on your journey, because you're living life, and with life come needs, desires, wants, all these different things, visions, dreams, all of these different things. And then the ego come in and make you afraid, and it's all this thing going in your mind. Oh, how I'm gonna do that, and I ain't never been able to do that, and I don't know how much money I'm gonna make next year. All of this stuff going in your mind. Virgin Mary means virgin consciousness. Virgin consciousness. That's what Virgin Mary means. Virgin consciousness. Was not penetrated by anything, but was impregnated with the vessel that is going to create from divine mindedness, Jesus. That's Virgin Mary. Virgin consciousness becomes impregnated with the dreams, visions, gifts of divine mindedness, divine consciousness. And when those things are birthed, there is no doubt because there is virgin consciousness, no doubt. It's like, this is what it is. And Jesus walked with no doubt. It didn't matter how much people came in a fret. That's what the stories are all about. Oh, we about to die. There was a storm, but he down there asleep. Resting assured. Run up there and like, what's wrong with y'all? Peace be still. Ain't we out here doing all these miracles and everything, y'all still don't believe? That's divine mindedness. Divine mindedness walks into a situation that looks wild. We done been in those situations. It's heavy, it's scary, it's hurtful, it's all of these different things. But when you begin to have a radical transformation of mind, go through a regeneration and rejuvenation process of the mind, the heart, the soul, you face those situations differently, at rest. As a matter of fact, people start calling you nonchalant. People start, you always on that positive stuff. I can't be around you because I'm trying to be realistic. And okay. Okay. But then you become that person people come to. That's how it goes. They have to go through their walk, and that's okay. So don't be judging folks like, because I know my God. No, that's ego. Because you know what people are, because you've been there. So you know what people are. So you can have grace and mercy with them. And you don't feel no type of way. Y'all don't ever call me around no more and all of that. Why you want to be called around? That's ego too. So virgin consciousness only comes when you have that radical, for us, when you have that radical transformation of mind. You start thinking differently. Your belief systems shift. It has to. Lately, in the last several full moons, I've been saying, listen, during this full moon, sit down and ask yourself, what do I believe? What do I value? Note, be honest with yourself. And when you're honest with yourself, go back through it and see, do you need to shift up? Does some of that need to be renewed? Be honest though. Don't go in there, oh, I valued it. No, what do you truly put value on in your life? If you don't know, look at what you spend your money on, what you spend your time on, what gets you triggered, all of these things are things that you hold some kind of attachment or value to. Then ask yourself, what do I believe about life? What do I believe about money? What do I believe about love? What do I believe about relationships? What do I believe about the future? What do I believe about aging? What do I believe about these things? Ask it, all of it. It's time now to go through all of those things because we have been indoctrinated in a belief system that has caused us to become a nation that has one of the youngest transition age, a nation that has the highest rate of people with heart disease, infertility, cancers. And all of those are reflection of our belief system. We may say, oh, the food and all of that, yes, okay. But at the end of the day, and the beginning, it's something within that's happening. Heart disease comes from your heart being not at ease. That's what dis-ease means. And so that's the only time you're going to start getting heart dis-ease. anything that Louise Hay, that's who it is. If you don't know, Louise Hay. She talks about the metaphysical or spiritual significance of each disease. All of them. Eczema, diabetes, heart disease, lungs, if you got issues with your lungs, your knees, your everything. Louise Hay. Louise Hay. Somebody could put that in the chat room, that'd be great. So as we move into this season, what we tend to celebrate, even if you don't put up a Christmas tree or celebrate it in that way, we all kind of are connected to this holiday. Really think about what is it talking about. Because it's a pretty, if you know the metaphysical meaning of the holiday, it's a pretty good holiday to be a reflection of. And maybe now your rituals of putting decorations up or your gifts or whatever can mean something different. Maybe as you decorate, you're thinking, I'm decorating the mind. What is my mind decorated with now? My mind is decorated with the understanding of my power and dominion. What can I put on my tree to reflect that? The tree represents the tree of life, metaphysically. The star at the top is the light that we have, our crown chakra. Yeah, why you on that? That's the Christmas session. Hold on. That's for next Sunday, sis. Move on. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, that's next Sunday. All right. All right. We're gonna hold that down. Metaphysical meaning of Christmas coming next Sunday. All right. Or maybe even next Wednesday. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. Reeling it in. Okay, Sunday. I started this off by talking about living intentionally. When you do live intentionally, you can tune into the energy of the day. You can tune into the energy of the hour. You can tune into the energy of the season. You can tune into any of those energies. You can sit with yourself and ask yourself, what is my spirit tuning me into? You know, what am I thinking about? You be introspective so that you can live a little bit more intentionally and walk in that intention. That's a powerful thing to do. I also ended up mentioning Virgin Mary because I want us to always consider that virgin consciousness is necessary. So before I pressed record today, I was saying, you know, be careful with what you find yourself watching on Netflix, what you find yourself listening to, because these become running background programs in your mind. You know it's in your subconsciousness because little parts of the movie be in your dreams. You're like, that was a crazy dream last night. That was just things you've been plugging in. So it's plugging. That tells you it's plugging. And then, you know, music that you're listening to, you find yourself, it's running. Start to sing it. Like, why am I singing that song? Because it is a meditation. It's plugging in. So intentionally think about what you're listening to. I'm not here to try to be Debbie Downer and like cut out all the stuff. You know, it's like, if I was taught that growing up, I'd have been a little bit more or a little bit less rebellious when it came to my parents telling me we can't listen to secular music. You know, I was like, they're just so holy roly, you know. But now I know it's intentional. I know that some music, if I in back, I could think about artists that I would listen to and my mood would shift. I could think about it. And then I started seeing it in my life, things I started experiencing in my life. I'm like, let me stop listening to that artist because that's their life. I ain't experienced that. And I'm singing it like I don't experience it. And now I'm experiencing it. Hold on. You know, I don't want that in my life. So be careful, be intentional with that. I came with a word today because it was on my mind, but we're at 11:58, but I'm at least utter it. And the word that I had an intention to come with today, and I'll close out with it, is, and it's in alignment, keep in mind that your walk is your worship. Your walk is your worship. It ain't gonna be long, but it's gonna be strong. We're gonna give a word. Your walk is your worship. Let's go into the metaphysical meaning of worship real quick. Of course, we have to. Worship. Let's go to the definition first. What is the definition of worship? Let's go into that, because we all may have an idea of what worship is. I'm from a Southern Baptist church, grew up in the church. My idea of worship is what we would call worship service. So worship service look like singing and like giving thanks. Maybe it's giving thanks. It's like reflecting on God. And so it's like, you know, a lot of hallelujahs, a lot of thank you, Jesus, many tears, possibly tears of gratitude, oftentimes tears of actually sorrow is in that worship service, which is interesting, right? Because worship certainly shouldn't be in sorrow, but we might not have been taught what worship is. So since one of the things that God has compelled me to do in life is teach, let's teach today. All right, worship, because worship is a true pillar of your spirituality. A lot of us saying, I want to be more spiritual. I want to have a close relationship with God. I want to be more close. It has to include praise, worship, and remembrance. Praise, worship, and remembrance. Praise, worship, and remembrance. Praise, giving thanks, acknowledging God in all things. Worship, we're about to go into the meaning of that. And remembrance, prayer, remembering God, proclaiming God, remembering God. That's what we have to have in getting closer to God. So in according to the dictionary, Merriam, the most common one, Merriam-Webster, it says worship means to honor or show reverence for, honor or show reverence for as a divine being or supernatural power. So honor or show reverence, I'm not sure why they use the word for a or as, for a divine being or supernatural power. 2, worship is to regard with great or extravagant respect, honor, and devotion. That's the definition as far as the verb go, to show honor, to show reverence, to regard with great or extravagant respect. Noun, worship as a noun, the thing. What is worship? How does it show up as a thing? Reverence offered a divine being or supernatural power, a form of religious practice with its creed and ritual, extravagant respect. It's interesting they use this word extravagant. Extravagant, boy, that looks like my church. Extravagant, baby. We is about to be dance team and we gonna have the music, baby. Well, we had a good time. Extravagant respect was being given. Or admiration for or devotion to an object of esteem. Let's go to the etymology of worship. Teachable moment. If you want to really get to know something and embody it, get to know what it is that you're doing. Don't go off of what you may have experienced in your childhood or think it is. Get to know what it actually is. What are we talking about when we talk about worship? The etymology of worship is condition of, interesting. Wow. Worship as a noun. The condition, it is interesting, my God. Okay, yeah, read it, read it. Condition of being worthy, dignity, glory, distinction, honor, renown. I find that very interesting. The worship is the condition of being worthy. Your worthiness comes from your honor of God. The condition of being worthy comes from the honoring and reverence of God. I want you to hear that because a lot of people love to do that affirmation. I am worthy. Are you? I talk about this a lot. I give very much so inspirational and all of that. But if you come to me and you're saying, I'm worthy of better than that, and I know I'm worthy, I know I'm going to ask you, are you worthy? I've had that conversation many times because we're only worthy of things where we are, where we're vibrating at. Increase your worthiness by increasing your vibration, increasing your reverence, increasing your honor, raise your thoughts, raise your, what you're reverencing, what you're honoring, what you're doing, raise that up. And you will see, you become worthy. You're not just worthy. That's something that's said a lot that is a misconception. Dang, Queen, that's hard. That's rough. It's not. I want us to understand our reality in God. Wherever you are is what you become worthy of. So if you want to increase your value or worth, then you increase your frequency, increase your reverence, increase your honor of God, which is essentially increasing your honor of your godliness, what you are, if that makes sense. Very interesting that etymology brought that out. Condition of being worthy, dignity, glory, distinction, honor, renowned, worship as a verb, worshiping. Look, it's linked to worth. So it's a wonder why, if you don't find yourself worshiping, then you may not be seeing the value that you want to see in life. We're going to naturally want good things in life because we are God beings and God is good. But if you're not seeing that, then you may need to get into some worship. So now let's go to the etymology of it. Worship. Etymology, y'all know we use truthunity.net. That's the site that we use, but just type in, I'm sorry, I'm going to the metaphysical, not etymology. Type in worship, truth, unity. It'll pop up. Worship, truth, unity. Just FYI for those who want to use Truth Unity website that we use for your studies. Just type in whatever word you're looking for and put behind it truth, unity, and it'll pop right into it. All right. Here's what we have. Metaphysical meaning of worship. When one worships, he bestows his love. Remember, love is the acceptance and allowance, divine love. The acceptance or allowance, the acceptance and allowance of something, love. When one worships, he bestows his love on or identifies himself with the things of spirit. Worship represents the efforts of man to sustain a right mental attitude towards God. Worship represents the efforts of man to sustain, keyword, sustain a right mental attitude. They're choosing the word toward God. I want to give you some synonyms to that word toward. Synonyms for the word toward. Forward, into, concerning, willing, towards, with regards to, about. Let's use about. Worship represents the efforts of man to sustain a right mental attitude about God. That requires you to know what God is. And remember, I call it the reality of God. So if I have a right mental attitude about the reality of God, my walk is going to reflect that. So my walk becomes my worship. The reason why I was thinking that, like that was like kind of running in my head, because your walk, I don't think we really realize how our walk is the opportunity for God to shine through us. It's through our walk. If you show up as a mama, a teacher, or whatever you show up as, a wife, or whatever you're showing up as, whatever you find yourself doing, that's your walk. How are you walking that walk? As a mama, does the way you think about mothering your child, does it match or is it influenced by the reality of God? I had to check myself with that with my son, because I've been taught to parent from a place of fear. That's not in alignment with the reality of God. Because in the reality of God, I don't just come here with a divine plan, or at a certain age, I get a divine plan. No, we're born into this existence with a divine plan at play. So even if I look at something my son is doing, or something is going on, or something I'm fearful for, I must also hold that truth that all it's divinely ordered. But as parents, we have been taught possibly that we're supposed to govern our children, protect our children, teach our children, show the way. And what that looked like is we want our children to be us. And if they don't think like us, act like us, decide like us, then we feel away. We take it personally. Who raised you? Hey, you ain't doing what I raised you to do. All this, we just totally forget that there's a divine plan and purpose in our children's life as well. And of course, I'm not saying don't do nothing. I am saying do much less. Mostly much less talking, much less, and do way more praying, way more living, being an example, way more affirming, way more anointing, way more baptizing. And I'm not talking about going to the church. That's good too, but I'm talking about you can baptize your children often with your words, with your get a spray together. I used to just, my son, Lord, I know he was like, my childhood was just, before you walk out, come here, let me spray you with this balance spray. And I'm going to spray some. And then he got a pocket full of gemstones. Yes, he does. Yes, even now to date, I have to get him because he be on my table all the time. Do more of that. Instead of, first of all, parenting from the way you were parent, because a lot of our parents, they parent from a place of fear too, and they did the best that they could, but they were very undereducated, very underdeveloped. So they parented from a place of fear. They parented from a place of ego. We experienced a lot of anger, parents with anger issues in our lives. We experienced a lot of parents with depression. We experienced a lot of parents. We did. Let's be honest. We experienced a lot of parents stuck in lack mindset. We experienced a lot of parents. It's just it's in your charts. Don't blame your parents. I guarantee you, if I do your natal chart right now and I look at your Chiron, it's going to say in your generation, these were the issues. It's a generational thing. And it's written. It is what it is. But knowing that, maybe we can be a little bit more intentional with rearing our children. So instead of projecting that anger your mama used to project on you, or that anger your daddy used to project on you, what are you going to do with your child? We think it's funny when we still saying stuff like, if it were me, why would you do that? Because you know you didn't like that, to be beat on when you was 12. That's ridiculous. Oh, Queen, what you talking about? Conscious parenting? I am. I'm saying at a certain point in my parenting, I had to realize what it may feel like to be hitting for me to be hit on. Because I remember I didn't like it. So then I had to challenge myself on how am I to parent properly then? I'm just being truthful. I don't know why we having this conversation, but I'm having it. So then I started remembering my mama said, before you go punishing your baby, make sure you're not mad. She used to always say that. When I first became a mother, she said, make sure you're not mad. Because if you go punishing him when you're mad, you're only punishing him because you're mad. So then when I start understanding God, spirit, life, I start understanding a lot of the stuff that we start punishing our children for is really from our own ego. So really, I'm more mad because I'm embarrassed, or I feel some type of way because he at school doing this or school doing that. Lord, I start watching every video that Abraham Hicks had on parenting. The only reason why I say that, because Abraham Hicks is going to talk about it from a energetic, law of attraction, universal law type of way. Once I started listening to every single parenting video she had, a lot of it stopped. A lot of it stopped. And then once I elevated from just that, law of attraction, all of that, and I started to elevate in understanding our divine beingness and our power and dominion and the power in our words and the power in our prayers and the power in our visualization and the power in meditating and visualizing and scripting on the new moon and full moon, all I did, I addressed the governing of my child, the facilitating of his journey, in mostly prayer, scripting, visualization, affirmation. Mostly. And to this date, that's where it's at. Does that mean I love everything he got going on? No. That's his life, though. I'm sure my mama never really liked a lot of the stuff I had going on. My father either. But I mean, that's because they have their own thoughts of what I should be doing in life. Same way with my child. So if it's something that's regarding his health or something like that, I'm going to put in my prayers. I give thanks for, I'm going to say it like it's done. I give thanks for my son's health increasing and this and that. What do we be concerned about when our child get out of the household? Health, them growing up to be successful, those type of things. Put it in my prayers. I ain't gonna keep bothering him. So what you got going on with your life? What you doing? What is cool? I ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm gonna pray on it. And I'm gonna look at his charts and see what he got going on in there and see where I can really support him, because I see what's going on in his charts. I say, all right. Your walk, how do we get there again? It don't matter. Your walk is your worship. Y'all see, I be having to talk myself through because I'll be here for 3 hours. And y'all don't help because y'all don't be like, reel it in, queen. Your walk is your worship. Worship, let's be reminded of what worship means. Worship it represents our effort to sustain the right mental attitude. They use the word toward, I'm gonna put about the reality of God. What role does it play in your life? What is it? Ask yourself this. Make sure you're clear about it. What is the reality of God? I ask this every Sunday. What is the reality of God, y'all? And I always give the exercise that could be helpful for us getting to know that, and that is get to know the names of God. Because if you name something, it's describing it. So get to know what Adonai, if that's for your preference, get to know what Yahweh, Adonai, all of those mean. If it's the 99 names of Allah, get to know what Yamuid or Yah, whatever the name is. Get to know what it is. Study them. Study the names of God, because it's going to tell you, it's going to give you descriptors of what is the reality of God. It's going to give you the aspects of God. Ask yourself, what is the reality of God? Ask yourself, do I live in this as my reality? That's the main two things you want to ask yourself. What is the reality of God? And do I live in this as my reality? I promise you, you're not going to see lack in God. But are you living from a place of lack? In your walk is everything you find yourself doing. Your walk is what you find yourself putting your money in, what you find yourself putting your time in, what you find yourself thinking about a lot. That is your walk. And I'm saying that is your worship. Where you put your money is a part of your worship. Where you put your resources, where you put your time, where you put your thoughts, that's a part of your worship. All of this is your walk. So it may be time for you to clean up your walk a little bit. Not for the sake of gain, but for the sake of you really being able to live out your reality as a child of God, as a reflection of God. Because God lives within you and expresses itself through you as you. The Almighty resides. The reality of God is in with you and expresses itself through you as you. So That's the word for today. Some of y'all came in here for some meditation, so we're going to do a little brief meditation before we go. Give thanks. Just that I do not notice that regarding my walk. When I'm anxious, I notice my shoulders turn in and hunched. Shut off body language. It's real. It's real. Literally in your walk. Katie is saying, Katie, by the way, I got your package. It came Friday. I was out here in the garden. You so sweet. Thank you. Katie always sending me our family from UK, always sending something nice. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I haven't even opened it yet, and I said thank you. I haven't had the time. It's cleanup time in the garden right now. Whew, baby, and it's been busy. I recruited somebody who's gonna get out there in the garden with me today. Yay. She said, yay. That sounded so enthusiastic. Oh. All right, let's go into some meditation. What I want to set our intention on doing this brief meditation is for us to, first of all, get into a place of relaxation, emptiness. We had a strong word. We covered a lot of ground today, but let us come into a place of stillness, relaxation, and be reminded of the reality of God. That's what I'm setting our intentions for. In order for us to walk in the reality of God, we have to remember it. And remember that a part of your journey is remembrance of what the reality of God is. So you don't have to see me, but you do need to hear me. Find yourself in a comfortable position, giving thanks for all of you hanging tight with us today. Find yourself in a comfortable position. Relax. We give thanks for the word. May we be not just hearers of the word, but may we be doers of the word. May we live more intentionally. May we seek to walk in virgin consciousness, always seeking divine guidance, always looking for spirit to speak to us and walking through that. And may we also always remember that our walk is our worship. We give thanks for that word. We give thanks for that word. Let's start with just engage in the breath, taking deep inhales in through the nose. Idea here is to slow down the breath, slow down the heart rate. We had a very stimulating time with the message, but let's slow down the mind, relax the body. Just a moment of silence. So feel your shoulders release as you inhale deeply in, down to the bottom of your belly. Exhaling slowly and completely. Feel your body begin to relax. And just focus on the breath. Focus on the deepest inhale you can do, feeling your body expand when you inhale. And slowing that exhale all the way down. And feel your body release and relax as you slow that breath down. Oftentimes we have so much going on in life that we don't know how much tension we are holding. So just even a moment, a brief moment of relaxation, deep relaxation really opens up our heart. It opens up our mind so that we can be influenced by spirit, so that we can hear spirit. So relax. Let's take a few more of those deep breaths, a couple more. I invite you to hold the breath if you feel compelled. And then as you exhale, feel your body totally release and relax. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling deeply. And exhaling slowly and completely. As you are relaxed, your heart is lightening up, your mind is open. Be reminded that the reality of God is the reality of mercy. So no matter what's going on in life, even if you feel like you went the wrong way, you made the wrong decision, whatever your ego may make you feel, know that a reality in and of God is mercy. And it's especially merciful. A reality of God is a giver of peace. If you relax and release whatever it is you're going through, you can tune into the peace that's always available. And it's a peace that surpasses understanding. Why? Because you don't have to understand why it's at peace. But if you relax and you let it go, the reality of God is it is the giver of peace. The reality of God is it's an infuser of faith. You may go into a situation that God is leading you to do or handle. And this reality is that faith will show up if it's what you desire. But again, you have to relax. Let it go. Be careful for nothing. But in everything, in all things, through prayer, supplication, thanksgiving, just make the request known. If it's faith that you need, if it's guidance that you need, whatever it is, just make the request known. The reality of God is the reality of flawless shaping in your life. Every circumstance you're dealing with right now, every relationship that you are involved with, whether it's with your mother, your father, your children, your spouse, the reality of God is it is being shaped in a divine way. So guess what? Relax. Let it go. And whatever it is that you're observing that may make you feel afraid, sad, mad, resentful, whatever it is, let it go. Make your request known. Your request for peace. Your request for reconciliation. Your request for release. But harmony in that release. Just make the request known. There's no need to fear. No need to worry. No need to project and be angry. Relax and allow the reality of God. Take one last deep breath in through the nose. Hold that breath as long as you can. And when you're ready, exhale totally and completely and affirm. God is my reality. God is my reality. The reality of God is my reality in all things, with everything. Give thanks. We give thanks for this moment of meditation. We give thanks for the reminder of what God truly is and the capacity of God, the reality of God. May we walk with it in our hearts that remembrance of it. May we walk with it in our hearts. May it be reflected on our tongue through the words that we speak. May it be reflected on our minds through the actions we find ourselves doing. And may it be our peace. May it be our joy. And may it be our understanding. Shay, amen. I mean, invite you to come back to this present moment, maybe by wiggling your fingers and toes, giving yourself a little stretch, giving thanks for the moment and time together today, the reminders. I think this is a wonderful way to spend this full moon. It's a full moon. Y'all might have seen it. Oh, good God. I have a meditation tonight, so if you want to tune in to that specific full moon meditation, that is tonight at 7. We are also, let me remind you, winter solstice is a week away. So we also have that winter solstice energy. So just tune into that. I'm sure I'll be putting something out. So if you just making sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, you'll see when Spirit lead, I'll put that out I already put out a divine assignment for a new moon. And full moon. I did add in there a winter solstice divine assignment. So good. Thank you for that reminder. I'm always thinking I got work to do, but okay, I done already did that work. Okay. So it's already posted. So go to the YouTube channel. It's on the YouTube channel. It's on my channel as December 2024 full moon divine assignment. I talked about the winter solstice and the conclusion of Mercury retrograde, which today is the conclusion of Mercury retrograde. But just keep in mind, we're still in a shadow. So don't go moving forward with things that you've been holding off on because it's the retrograde. Give it another week just so the shadow can go ahead and leave and then move forward. But I did post something on my YouTube that talks about the divine assignments for both the full moon, the winter solstice, and I talked a little bit about taking advantage of this last week of the shadow of the Mercury retrograde. So that's already posted up there. Thank you for tuning in. If you found this message to be compelling and you want to share it with someone, make sure once it's posted on YouTube, grab the link, snag it, share it with someone, let them know they can tune in live on Sundays. If you want to show your love to OU Ministries and show your support, you may do so at the same link you went to tune in this morning. There are links there for you to be able to show your love and support, your financial love and support. There are other ways that you can support the ministry. I just always want to remind you, other ways that you can support the ministry. If you're in Atlanta, come and get your natural and chemical-free products here to use for your personal care. You can also purchase a fresh produce every weekend here. It's nothing like eating fresh produce from the ground. I keep saying that. It's a lavish type of living. I'm telling you it is. You will feel the difference when you start putting in your body things that's freshly picked from Mama Earth. I'm going to tell you that. So if you're in Atlanta, take advantage of the privilege. It is a privilege. Man, when I travel to Jamaica and Cameron, I just be like, y'all just picking mango from the tree and avocado from the tree. Keep in mind that when you purchase from the grocery store, this is not to deter you. I still shop at the grocery store because we don't grow everything. So I'm not saying it but I just want you to know, when you shop at the grocery store, even your natural organic produce has traveled for a lot of miles, and most likely you're getting it on day probably like 5, maybe longer of it being picked from the ground. You want to try to eat food that is picked within 72 hours. Even if it's like grandmama, just some bell peppers or something she grew outside. You want to get food in your body that have that life force energy. I'm telling you, it's a powerful thing. And so even if you grow your own, you find a local farmer, you go to the farmer's market, however you get it. So I find it a true blessing, and I give thanks that a part of OU Ministries is this fresh produce, because I talk about wellness, and that's one of the things. When you start incorporating fresh, and the reason why that's within 72 hours is powerful, because you get the nutrients and the minerals from the earth, from the sun, and from the rain. All three. So that's the That's what you want. And from the, of course, the vegetable or the fruit. So now that's what we need in our bodies. That's why we need a lot of supplements, because we're not getting that. Even if you eat vegetables, you're not getting it, because after 72 hours, it starts to dwindle. And so oftentimes when we're buying natural organic, I'd rather you eat those veggies than go eat something else. However, it's still not going to have the mineral content or the vitamin content that it would have if you picked it fresh. Okay. So that's why it is powerful to get it. You can get it here, or maybe grow a pot of, I don't know, anything, something, herbs, try basil is easy. Rosemary is easy. It's a few things that's easy. Snap off your rosemary, put it in some hot water in the morning, let it stew, get you a rosemary tea. You're getting that fresh from the sun, all of that minerals from there. So now you see why it's important also for that to be natural and organic, because if you're getting that from that, you don't want to have chemicals being sprayed on it. You don't want that. So natural and organic is where you want to go. So here, I be telling them, I don't wash my veggies when I get them from here. They do their market wash, and that's enough for me, because I want the natural elements. When you look at countries in what they call the blue zones, most people in the blue zones, these are countries, not just countries, states, cities, we have it here in America, where people reach 100 and surpass 100. They call blue zones. They have a documentary on Netflix. Yeah, they all eat from the garden. They all eat from the garden. They get natural minerals. I want to know, like, I realize some of us don't really want to live to 100. They be like, whenever I go, I'm straight. I get it. I ain't mad at you. But I've always felt like I want to live up until, I want to live a long life. I want to see myself a little elderly lady. But I ain't going to be doing all of this. I'm going to be like, hey, I'm through. That's how I see myself. So I just think about, what do I need to do to, prepare myself for that. You can't just want it and just that's it. No, I got to have natural. So you can support by doing that. You can purchase natural organic foods here. You can make purchases in the store, but guess what? I know a lot of you all are not here in Atlanta, so you can purchase online, not the produce. Unfortunately, we're not shipping produce yet. Maybe that'll happen one day, but what's in the store is online as well. You can shop there. You can come to the sound baths that I host. You can tune into the new moon and full moon meditation. All of these is in support of the ministry. All of those things supports keeping the garden flourishing, keeping the headquarters well. And then also, of course, we have our membership. Shout out to our members who are online right now. We have our metaphysical studies group, and we have our meditation group. And so those memberships also support keeping this ministry going. And I give thanks for you all. A lot of you all are members, you shop and you give, and it's a beautiful thing. And I don't want you to think that it's not seen and appreciated. I do appreciate it. So I'm going to close by saying, I want to show you love. If you can make it to the December the 22nd event, I would love to spend time with you all. I have put it out in public. However, I've been pushing it more towards members in our community, because I really want that to be a gathering for us. So far, it's all members and all people who are part of the OUM community. And so I'm grateful. It's going to be a great time together. So that's the 7 event, our 7 chakra dining experience that we're doing on December 22nd, next Sunday. So you got the 7-course meals that's infused with essential oils. You have Timaka, the modern medicine woman, coming in. She's going to be doing sound treatments throughout the evening. And then you're getting a gift bag from OUM, but it's also winter solstice. So keep that in mind. So it's going to be a powerful time together. So I know I have at least a couple of people traveling in. It's worth your trip. So if you're not in Atlanta, know that, if you can come on through. It's going to be a powerful time together. And I have been compelled to do a collective reading on that day. So I will be doing a collective reading on that day as well. I tend to not do those online, so don't fuss, don't get mad. Listen, okay? I don't do that type of stuff online. So I'm going to do it in private with the group who comes. So if you want to have it live and in effect, have your energy plugged into that reading, then come in person, but I will post it unlisted to the groups. So if you're part of OU Ministries as a member or the group chat, so I'm gonna encourage you, if you're not on the group chat, the GroupMe chat room, get a part of that, because I do send things, some stuff I don't list. I have over 1,000 videos on YouTube. Majority of them are unlisted. I only share with the people who are part of the GroupMe chat room. If you are a member, you get those, some of them, you know, depending on what level of membership you are. But things like collective readings and things, I do share with the OU tribe, if you will. And if you really want to stay connected and really tune into everything that is OU, the collective readings, the prayer circles, all of those different things, at the very least, join the GroupMe chat, because then you'll get those things in the chat room. You can also become a member, a base level member. $10 a month, you become a Learn member. You'll get those things. You can be a part of the Metaphysical Studies group. Now, Natalia, I always want to call you Natalie. Natalia, she says, where can I find more information about Metaphysical Studies group? The Metaphysical Study group is the Thrive membership on the website. The Thrive membership. They just came out of a chakras course. Powerful. I invited anybody who was a member in whatever level to that chakras course. It was a powerful course. Amazing. Give me 14 of them. No, it was amazing. So that's the Thrive group. And then we have, I'm shifting the groups up a little bit. So come January 1, I'm gonna shift them up a little bit, but it'll just be 3 memberships. Learn, Align, Thrive, right? So with the Align group, you get the replays from the Thrive, from the Metaphysical Studies. So if you don't want to, if you more interested in the meditations, a lot of people are more interested in the new moon and full moon meditations, that's the Align group. But you also get access to the replays of the Metaphysical Studies, right? So that's the Align group. The Thrive group, you get live Metaphysical Studies class, live new moon and full moons, and all the replays. So that's like the top level group. That's where you're going to get everything pretty much. Then you can add one more thing, coaching. I do have a couple of handfuls of people who have added coaching to their membership. And so they get 2 sessions with me one-on-one every month. And so that's an option too. So you'll see all that on the website. Ain't gonna hold y'all no longer. So y'all can check that out on the website. Here's my thing when it comes to membership and everything that has something to do with OU. The right people come at the right time. So I don't pump markets. I don't do all of that when it comes to the membership and things, because I find OU to be a sacred station that we all find ourselves in. And you can't sell that. So for those who may be thinking, Queen, you need to let everybody know, I get it. I appreciate that love and that you be the witness. When we went to church, we witnessed. That's what we called it. Like, go out witnessing. You be the witness, you know, because then people come. But I just feel like I take it seriously, stewarding this vortex, if you will. So when you check out the memberships, the one that you are ready for, it'll resonate with you. If you're not ready for a membership, that's fine. Stay tuning in on Sundays. Get on the GroupMe chat and stay there so you can become a part of the community, if that makes sense, okay? So don't ever feel, oh, I'm missing out. You're going to be ready. You're going to be ready. And to you who are thinking about joining the membership and you're like, I don't know if I can afford it, I'm going to tell you now, you can. Because let me tell you something that God do. When God put something on your heart to do that takes money, your income increases. Think about it like that. If God said, I don't want you to go looking for that $150,000 house, I said $300,000. So what are you doing? Why are you even looking in this arena? Go look for the $300,000 house. Well, Queen, I ain't got the money. If you don't go get God's blessing, because when God puts something on your heart, everything that's needed is going to come to you. So while you're denying this, you're also denying that raising income. I'm telling you, I've learned that in my life. When I can only afford it, you always keep yourself in that box. Don't do that. Okay. So if you feel you've been a part of OU Ministries for a while and you need to go ahead and dig into that metaphysical stuff, do it. The Most High will increase you by $60 a month. Don't you think? $60 to the Almighty. Come on. Like, come on now. You know, God will increase you. And I get it. I've been at a place where I look at someone, I've been there. I get it. I get it. So don't feel like I'm going hard on you. But I'm telling you that when you allow God to increase you, God will increase you. So here's the expenses that God may be increasing because God is saying, I want you to do this. I want you to grow your family. I want you to buy property. I want you to start a business. I want you to do whatever it is that you're afraid of when it comes to your resources. Don't do that because God will increase your resources. I used to think I couldn't help my family. Then I decided I want to help my family. And when I decided I wanted to help my family, I don't even think about how much is going out towards certain family members that I'm supporting because it clearly it made the increase to wherever I was used to be afraid of, the increase has happened. And so now it's just automatic, wherever it's going to those family members. So whatever God is telling you to do, somebody, it's a family member that God has been almost like compelling you to support. Go ahead and start doing it. God will increase you so that you can do what the will of God is. Not your will, but God's will be done. Amen. Give thanks. Amen. All right, y'all. Well, peace and love. Peace and love. The replays are so good. Or Erica says the replays are so good. Peace, Erica. Good and informative. Queen has great material for anyone who wants. Oh, thank you. More metaphysical teachings and stories of the Bible. I have learned so much that has assisted me in my journey. Give thanks, Erica. Not to mention learning more about self. Ashe. Giving thanks for the ministry. Give thanks. Give thanks. We've been at it since 19, good God, 2019. So it's a lot. We have a lot of content. And y'all can see the journey. You go back to them videos in 2019. I don't erase them either. I was like, well, that's part of my journey. It ain't bad, but it's been some elevation. It's been a few years. So it's been some elevation even in the ministry. I think you all can vouch for that. But it's still good stuff, real good stuff. So check, once you become a member now, I be watching y'all in the back room. Some of y'all become a member and then I be like, you ain't logged in one time. If you don't log in and start going through them videos, okay? You okay? You don't go in them videos, it's good stuff there, okay? I thank you for the membership, but I want you to get the information now. That's why I have that whole portal for you, okay? Peace and love, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. If you're coming on to the Sunday meditation or the full moon meditation, I'll see y'all this evening, all right? Peace, y'all.